Welcome back to Tao of Twang. Hope you're having a great week. This is part 2 of working triads into our improvisation soloing and skill set. Part 1 should be the 2 videos previous to this would be using triads in soloing, part 1, and then a backing track that to practice for part 1. The reason that's important is that this is a different chord progression. The concepts will be pretty much the same, but we're using some different chords just to mix it up, and using triads that are grouped on 3 different strings than in that part 1. Okay, don't want to confuse you, but if you haven't watched that one, best thing to do would be to go back and work through that one and then catch up with us. If you're one of the many who has used that part 1 lesson and given feedback and stuff, and it seems like it's going pretty well, then you're ready to jump right in here. Now, that one used the chords A and D. It was like kind of a skanking riff, like that. This one uses G and C, okay, and it's a little bit slower. So it's the one that you just saw in the intro there. So it's more like, something like that. Now, the diagrams are made in the same manner as part 1, and you basically want to keep that same mindset, right? Now, we're just going to take it 1 chord at a time. There's only 2 of them. So I'll put the diagrams up here and talk about it a little bit, and then I'll give you some practice loop at the end, and you just do your thing, okay? So the first chord we're going to work with is G. Now remember, our progression is G for a measure and C for a measure. It's kind of a slow, maybe R&B-ish type rhythm or something. Of course, you could apply this to any riffs and tempos and things that you want. So the first one on that G diagram is right here. Okay, now in part 1, we did triads that were located on these top 3 strings, right? Meaning the G, the B, and the high E. All the ones in this lesson are located on the D, G, and B string. Okay? You'll see what I mean in a second, or you can look at that diagram. They're circled on there. The red dots are the root. There's your first G. Then you slide it up here. It's a different shape, right? But it's also G. Here, let your ear get trained to noticing how they're similar, or the same tonal center. Sorry. Okay, then the third one is right up there. Now, that's the 12th fret, okay? On these templates that I use, that last fret shown on that diagram is the 12th, which means it's the same things you would play open. Okay? Let's sit with that for a second. So, it's an octave higher of. Okay? So I'm just going to kind of, we'll start with that one. It's not drawn on there, but since we just learned it, not as easy to use in lead playing because it's open strings, and that's going to, be hard to control with your sound. So then, and then remember to go higher under guitar. If you're playing an acoustic, it might be a little tougher to do that, depending on what type it is. Just, your G. Let me look here for a second on our, okay. C, okay. We've got, okay, kind of part of that C that's just your good old C down there, right? Just those three strings. Then, okay, then we come up to, and then just like we could take that, anything from down here, we move that up here. Make sure you work out those octaves. On this one, I drew it down here, see? But make sure you figure out how to move that up there. Then, so, here we go. Let me turn on our track here. That's the G, and that's the C. So I'm just gonna, okay. That was a real simple routine, but that's where you want to start. Just maybe warm up with that progression, kind of get locked into the, because I'm going to give you a loop of that. So just catch that. Don't worry about making the rhythm exactly the same, but play along with it, you know. G, C, G, different C, okay. Now, just like last time, I'm not showing you licks or exactly what to play, right? Because it's going to come out great if you do your own thing with it. And you don't always have to, one thing that's neat about this, let me show you real quick, you don't always have to go back and forth. Both of them will work in sort of a universal way with the progression. Here's what I mean. C, so here's our G. Oh, well, I did two G shapes. One of them was over the G and one was over the C, but it worked. I'll do it again. I'll start on G. Now that one was a C, the last one, right? So that's it. That's this lesson. Again, if you watch part one, we kind of maybe work it through a little bit, mortar it in there a little bit more, some of the concepts here. But this is a really open method where you get the information and it's about you applying that in your own musical way, right? Not necessarily, hey, play this lick right here and then play this lick. Yeah, we might do some lessons like that, but the method that we teach on Tao of Twang is really about you learning to improvise. So, hopefully all that makes sense. Leave comments, ask questions. I really appreciate all the feedback and the recent subscribers and stuff. It's great to, you know, open that up and see that, hey, there's some more people, you know, that are into this, whatever. That keeps us all motivated. So I will work up a little loop for you here, and I'll put those diagrams in there, kind of just back and forth between the G and the C, so you can reference those while you're playing along and practicing. Okay, thank you.